how to develop gnosis, which equals in knowledge of self. Now, what is looping? What is revealing something? What is actually knowledge and where does it come from? Why do we think we need to read certain books? Why do we think we have to follow somebody? Why do we think we have to be intellectual? We have to go to universities to be somebody? Now, I'm not telling you to break the system that we're living in. That's not my intention here. But my intention is to reveal something to you that lays so deep in yourself, in your own skull, which is your own school, to rethink what actually knowledge is. So this gets into revealing something and also healing and looping your own knowledge, your own self, which gets into building of the philosopher's stone. Now, why do you have to free up the philosopher's stone? And where does it sit? Now it has basically different names depending on culture and depending on language. But basically, like I said, it is about your own skull. It is about your own school. And if you have went to school or not, it's on you. So you have to decide if you will follow your intuition, if you want to raise your Kundalini energy. Now it sounds so mystical. Is yoga only about drinking tea and doing these nice postures? Now I'm telling you, I have, and I will continue to do this. I will continue to study myself. I'm doing this since birth because I was a triplet, and it's not about I have to cry for him or something. I was a triplet. My two brothers died, and since then I was in constant action of balancing myself out and in and finding my own source, building up my own body. Now the pillar that supports your own head, which equals your own school, which equals your own knowledge, is your spine. So this is why I am telling you to go within and to build your own Kundalini, your own spine power, which gets into your body, into your roots, into your red chakra, which is your fire. This is where hell is. Now, like I said, hell has also something to do with healing, with your heel, with Hercules also, and with Horus. And this is when we also get into the third eye, or the knowledge of self, the gnosis, the seat of the soul, the eye of Horus, the eye, so to say. You know, we can decode so many different languages. Now, this video here is not about how to decode things, because each and every single letter is a sign and symbol onto its own that you can flip and trick around. This is what the ancient masters were doing. This is what the highest form of language is. Now, basically, the highest form is resonance, but you know, I should not even speak. I just resonate on a certain level, but I try to put it into words for you, because language is a densified form to transport knowledge from universe A to universe B. I'm talking about from the subconscious mind into the conscious, or from within into without. Because in this giant rat race that we are in, and sure, I cannot tell you the whole truth, because I'm a constant seeker, and this is what life is. You have to keep going. You have to keep finding a way through. You try to build something and then you're like, oh, I present you a a piece of knowledge which is complete. No, that's not my approach. Because my approach is, I have certain blueprints, I have certain techniques that I'm sharing with you for free, and these blueprints are building the foundation to move on. This is how it is, it never stops. So, constant seeker, a constantly resonating on sound. This is why listening to vinyl music is also so important. But even beyond that, you should build your own music. You should build your own magic. You should build your own imagination. I'm the magic nation of myself. Because it's about this Kundalini power that we push into the head, where the antimatter sits, basically. Now, if you also get into antimatter, what it is, the black hole, maybe Bobby Hammett's work, the occultum, what stress is, why it's important, how it basically builds black holes, which are the entrance, the gateway to the universe B, to the subconscious mind. Now, to access that a bit clearer, I'm telling you about alchemy. So this is where my constant point in observation and where my constant point in observing is. Like I said, I'm a constant seeker, I'm a constant mover. So now we have this movement culture, especially on the internet. But what movement basically is, it's about moving the mind. It's move mind. So you can move your body and you can build up Kundalini energy through that. And this is also what basically global warming is, if you can decode that. You have Hanuman, the monkey mind, and Baal, which is talking about your intestines. Now this is where your fire burns. If you have no fire, how should you push energy, imagination up into the head? So you have to have fire. But the quest is, what is your kind of focus? What is your intention? Now I want to build knowledge. I want to give you a blueprint of how to develop knowledge, infinite gnosis of self. I'm talking about your soul, because this is the only thing that you carry on somewhere. And in your soul, freaking goosebumps, yo. In your soul sits the antimatter, the melanin, Bobby Hammett's work, the 42 laws of Ma'at. But I also said that, all these other masters, like Bobby Hammett, I never met him, but I'm inspired by his work. So this is why I'm also decoding the spine. I'm decoding what a spine is. A spine is a mast. So each and every being which carries her school or his school, its skull onto its head, onto its spine, onto its pillar, is already by its own a nation, a planet, a star. And this is why this knowledge that we seek for lays within. Now I tell you how to access it. The access to the subconscious realm that lays within your own body avatar is urine. It sounds very strange. If you never heard it before. But urine is the alchemical substance that your distillery, which is the body avatar, builds out of all the things. And I'm not only talking about food. I'm talking about resonance. I'm talking about language. I'm talking about forms. I'm talking about information that you consume from the outer. And this complete thing that you observe from the outer with your senses is condensed down by your own body avatar into urine. And this is where your knowledge basically sits. Your urine is your holy light elixir, which builds your philosopher's stone. And this is what the ancient chemists, let me tell this one more time, the ancient chemists, our ancestors that lay within me, that also lay within you, but you have no access to them. But because you don't want to go there, you don't want to crush through all these internal belief systems. I was doing my work. That's why I can tell you this. So I visited the Shadowland, and now I pull the knowledge out of there and I share it with you for free. Because from my point of view, I don't know if you're ready for it, but the only thing that I can basically give you is the blueprint. What you will find in yourself, I don't know. So even if you would do all these things that I'm doing, you will never become me. It's impossible. But you can go in with the knowledge and with the techniques that I'm telling you. So, the philosopher stone is accessed through the gateway, through the path of the, so to say, northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. The upper Egypts and the lower Egypts, which are connected through the Nile, which are connected through the Black River, the Black Hole. So, Black Tube. And the Black Tube is talking about your donut consciousness. Because your donut field, your torus field, that you basically wrap around, you already have a torus field that you can see. It's called your body. It's called your body avatar. And how your field internally operates, also talking about your diet and your deity, your alchemy, your resonance. Through all of this, that's what basically wraps around your tube. Because you are empty. You think you consumed something. You have never consumed anything. You don't even have a body. Because basically you only have a mind. And this is why I can tell you this knowledge. Because I'm into my own mind cultivation or sub-cultivation. I'm into my subconsciousness or subconscious occult or cultivation. Now the O is talking about the submarine that lays under the iceberg, you know. This is where your ancestors are. This is where everything is. It's not a, you think you go to a certain library, you pick up a book there that some old dad being wrote. That's basically of total unimportance. Because where every gnosis lays is within. You just pick up a book that reminds you of something. It's a research. It's a raw search. Now that search is to go within. This is where you will find all the answers. You can also go without, sure. You can have a lot of nice experiences. You can have a lot of experience, so to say. But this is where you have to go. You have to go into the ice. And this is where you find the knowledge. So, the soul is what matters. Because the soul, or the soul of the feet, talking about your body avatar, the grounding force, the fire, the red, and the balancing act of all the colors of red and blue, which equal in purple. And this is basically when you start to realize that your soul travels within your colors, within your energy systems, within your chakras, within your glands. And this is why it's basically only an internal journey. It's an internal process where your soul, your energy system, your energy ball, you know, all these monks talk about, you know, Dragon Ball, you know, they talk about Kamehameha, you know, you put the energy somewhere. Now, every being, and I'm not talking about male and female, because basically we've forgotten where we come from. You have a female and you have a male energy. And I'm not telling you, oh, you should become a non-sexual being. That's not the point. But the point is, you're here to experience yourself. Each and every energy system on its own is great. But the blueprint is that your energy ball is basically where you focus, hocus pocus, talking about your imagination, your magic system. Where you focus your ball. This is what you will mirror out. This is what you will see. This is how consciousness operates. So you put your energy ball somewhere on a specific land, on a specific system. This is what will resonate out. So, the 42 laws of Ma'at, the 33 vertebrae in your spine, the occultum, like I said, Bobby Hemmett's work, the antimatter, the melanin, also talking about melatonin, the black sun, talking about your black hole, which is the direct connection to the seat of your soul through the optic nerve. And if you can break this channel, if you can make it open, if you can break open the upper and the lower Egypts, this is when you start to see all these things. This is why it's so important to master your body, to master your mind. You can also master your mind first, whatever. It's basically the same thing. There are no barriers anywhere if you become open. Now, what helps you to become open is alchemy. One more time, talking about urine or orin. So to say, I don't like the word therapy because I'm about seeding truth. And it's not urine therapy. It's Orion's belt. It's your origin of your soul. Because this whole thing here is a hall of mirrors. It's an illusion. It doesn't exist. Sure, we can touch certain things, but this is Shadowland here. We purge things. We have forgotten all of these higher abilities that we had in the other realms. This is why I'm flip tricking the vinyl. You know, I'm a DJ. I flip trick universe A and B, and I put information from there into here. See, it might be dangerous. No. I'm opening certain portals, portals. The only portal that I'm basically opening is my own body. Because I have the balls to show and to tell you that I'm drinking my piss, yo. And you should do it. You should do it and you should know. You will know. So it's about switching, Alchemy, urine, Orion's belt, the infinite star seed, the soul, the seed of the soul. So we get to the next topic here. Falun Gong, Falun Dafa. Now we talk about certain gongs. In Chinese, you use these giant gongs where you're like boom and then dong. This is what your nut is that sits in your skull. Jack Sparrow, the pirates, they talk about the black pearl in a nutshell. So universe in a nutshell. The universe sits in your skull. So this is where every knowledge is. So to go there, you have to push through. You have to go. It's sure, in Falun Gong, in the Zhuang Falun, they basically talk about a path which is light years long in the universe. It's light years, literally light years. But basically what they're talking about is the distance between your eye and your inner skull. So if you break open this path here, it's this long, yo. It's that distant. But see, your brain is so webbed and tangled up in the system that you can't produce knowledge out of yourself. Because you believe in all these things. And your belief systems are shutting you down. Now, basically, if you go into yourself, then you will build your own knowledge out of yourself. And you basically also are doing it. It's not about, I should follow Yang. You should not listen to me. You should not listen to me. But if there is something from the bullshit that I present to you that resonates with you, then take it. Take it and use it. And this is when you start to know. So, Falun Dafa, Falun Gong resonates with the three components of truthfulness, compassion, and tolerance. Now, if I could also decode these words for you, but basically the idea is that you are a donut, a force field that resonates on a specific rate or on a specific idea. You don't see that, but this is your power. Because you're like a battery. You attract the things that you believe. So this is why I also tell you, and I'm also, I have to do a lot of work still. I don't stop. Also this belief system that, sometimes I believe I'm not worth it. I do everything for free. And I do it because I see through the illusion. I see through that. And I know that basically money is empty, because the real currency, and it sounds very strange, but this is how it is. The real currency is urine or sound, because it's all about electromagnetism. And you basically, if you know about alchemy, you charge yourself with something and you release it. And this is also what martial arts is, or movement or sports. Sports talking about the S ports of the Kundalini spine snake energy. So, the Falun Gong Falun Dafa is resonating with truthfulness, compassion, tolerance. So this is why I would recommend you, if you think, oh, you know what, Jan, this urine thing sounds interesting. It makes sense maybe also to me, but I don't want to start that, and because I know how it is and what you have to walk through, and also if you have to integrate that if you want to integrate that into your life. So I would recommend you from the bottom of my heart to you, hey, maybe check out Falun Dafa, Falun Gong, because this is very, very great mind cultivation. Because where I'm sitting, I'm already cracked deep into the occultism, and this is not for everybody, I know, but still I bring light to it. I'm like Lucifer. I bring light to the darkness. So, Falun Gong, Falun Dafa, resonating with truthfulness, compassion, tolerance. Now we get into the next thing, and the next thing. You might think, oh, you're crazy, Jan. This is the clearest water. No, it's basically not, because the clearest water would be 23. MJ, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Archangel Michael. My name is John Michael. So the clearest water is basically urine, and then it would be distilled water. But this here is alchemy. Talking about holograms, holo. So cheers to all the Kemetic gods. Now, you might think, oh, you drink? I'm like, hey, you have to know your alchemy. You have to know what you do. So, vinyl, music, sound, resonance, or resonate. Resonator, or the Thoris field, the donut mirror. Now, what is that about, and why am I talking about the vinyl, the A and B universe, and the switching? If you have watched my last video on Bobby Hammond's work, Bobby Hammond is a freaking great teacher. Like I said, I have never met Bobby, but I am inspired by his work. Now, this gets into my first point. And my first point is how to access or how to develop knowledge of self. How to develop. You have to go into the switching process of constantly knowing how to go in, and this is the most important thing, know how to push and pull these things that you find in yourself, how to push and pull them out. And this is what shamanism does. A very simple example would be a psychedelic mushroom trip, for example. If you do the journey to yourself through the psychedelic rabbit hole, you can do it on your own, you can do it with a trip sitter, you can also go there and only do it for yourself. But why do these substances exist? These substances exist, I'm getting goosebumps, because they want to talk with us. They want to inspire us because we are the carriers of the spirits. And this is why the main thing is to bring something back from the journey. If you do the journey and you only do it on your own, and you're like, oh yeah, I was experiencing that for me, and it was so nice, but flowers and colors everywhere, it's nice. All right, I get it. But it's about the knowledge. It's about, hey, what have you find there? What are your insights? Because this is basically what real, and I'm talking about the real knowledge is. And I'm not talking about any universities. I'm not talking about all these made up things. Because the mushroom, especially the mushroom, is one of the most intelligent plants, or I like to say beings, on the planet Earth. That is basically a matrix grid or an illusion. But it's all connected, interwebbed through the mushroom because it gives us more room. Also talking about the Morgan, the genetic code of the melanin. So this is why I'm revealing all of this to you. I'm going in deep to bring you that, and this is why I'm telling you there are different approaches to knowledge. And my approach doesn't have to be yours, but my approach is of something that is of far greater potential. Because I don't need to tell you any book source that I was reading. I don't script my videos. I was doing that in the past, but still then I was like, hey, whatever comes up, that's what is. That's what is right now, right here. That's truthfulness. That's truth mirrored through the compassion of my heart right into the ether grid. And that's it. And that's already enough. And I know that this will be in future the source. And this is why I'm giving you my, I'm selling my soul to the devil. Because I'm already Lucifer. I'm already the devil. Because all these, so to say, conspiracy theories or, skull and bones. You're like, oh, the aliens, the occulted things. They are all in you. That's your belief system. And that's what you see in your reality because you believe it. Your reality is a mirror of your consciousness. And this is why I'm only giving you these openers for the next door. I'm giving you the keys, the blueprints, through yourself. One more time, through yourself. Because this is basically what occurs. You walk through this realm where you think you move actually in reality. Where you think you move on a certain grid, facing something. The only thing that you face in this realm here is shadow purging land. You face yourself, you face your own ideas. You also maybe face your light. But you will only fly as high, as low as you've dropped yourself. As you have integrated and worked with your shadows. And then your shadows will become your better allies. Because your pupil is not white. It's not white. Your pupil is black. And as you know, black sucks in light. So the full color spectrum goes into the pupil, my people. And this is also, talking about where entities come from and what you see in your reality. And that I basically know, I don't even know if something exists. I don't know. But the only thing that basically occurs here is I face my own skull. See, and this is why, I'm so in deep into my skull. And then but it's also the other way around. If I'm so deep in my skull, I know that I can create some things from there. But, I try to create, very truthful things from there. This is why I'm showing you that, And maybe it's about, just close the bottle, let the genie, put the genie in there. Oh, yeah, I also get that, but these times are over, Either way, you just have a certain blueprint. What you do with that, it's on you, If you even have a soul, if you even exist, if you want to go there, is it for you? It doesn't have to be for you, but it's in a certain way that you can go. Maybe you're inspired by something completely different. That's great, But this is what basically the realm of ideas is. This way here is a very tough, a very hard way, but it's also a very, very, very truthful way. So, vinyl music sound resonator, A and B, universe, vinyl switching, the discs. And like I said, the soul travel in the body avatar. Because all gnosis, spelled with a K, the gnosis is within. Now, this also gets into one more time the melanin, the occultum, Bobby Hammett's work that I'm pretty inspired by in the last days. This is why I'm also producing this here. And the 42 laws of Ma'at that I'm showing you right here, But even deeper, what were basically the 42 laws of Ma'at? I could read them to you. The 42 laws of Ma'at. I'm talking about ancient Kemet. I have not committed sin. I have not committed robbery with violence. I have not stolen. I have not slain man or woman. I have not stolen food. I have not swindled offerings. I have not stolen from God, goddess. I have not told lies. I have not carried away food. I have not cursed. I have not closed my ears to truth. I have not committed adultery. I have not made anyone cry. I have not felt sorrow without reason. I have not assaulted anyone. I am not deceitful. I have not stolen anyone's land. I have not been an eavesdropper. I have not falsely accused anyone. I have not been angry without reason. I have not seduced anyone's wife. I have not polluted myself. I have not terrorized anyone. I have not disobeyed the law. I have not been exclusively angry. I have not abused God. I have not cursed God, goddess. I have not behaved with violence. I have not caused disruption of peace. I have not acted hastily without thought. I have not overstepped my boundaries of concern. I have not exaggerated my words when speaking. I have not worked evil. I have not used evil thoughts, words, or deeds. I have not polluted the water. I have not spoken angrily or arrogantly. I have not cursed anyone in thought, word, or deeds. I have not placed myself on a pedestal. I have not stolen what belongs to God, goddess. I have not stolen from disrespected the deceased. I have not taken from a child. I have not taken food from a child. I've not acted with insolence. I've not destroyed property belonging to God, Goddess, the true world order. Now, these are the 42 laws of Ma'at. Now, going in even deeper, the idea is in Kemet, in alchemy, in magic, talking about imagination and soul, black soul, to program your subconscious sound field. Now, in the last videos, I was especially talking about the mind. Now, what I'm talking about right now is I'm talking about the giant resonance of the donut that sits around you 360 degrees, or even 720 if we would go into different dimensions, or even like beyond this. It's an infinite donut mirror. Now, in these basically chakric system, in this 3D avatar, like I said, the soul experiences different resonances on these different energy planes. Now, moving beyond this, what you do is you program basically your avatar, your sound field on a specific thing if you start to speak yourself. This is why in the first place you have to cultivate your soul. You have to cultivate your resonance. Now, how would you do that? I was giving you already certain pieces, but what happens there is basically everything is sound. Now, what I'm basically doing also through kickboxing or, karate, maybe that I'm going in deeper in the future. But basically, like I said, it's move mind and it's about technique. It's about technical move mind. One more time. Technical move mind. If you have the techniques in your body, you have the techniques in your mind. Now, what you do basically through martial arts, where you have no equipment, you only have your body and you have these techniques. And what you basically then experience is that you experience shock waves on your body, on your soul, on your stone. Because if you would drop in the stone into water, you get waves, you get wavelengths. Now, this is also what basically the antimatter is, or the occultum. It's even, moving beyond this. It's something that I'm, trying to discover, and finding out. But what basically the occultum is it's something very powerful. If you've watched the the prequel to Harry Potter, you have I think it's called Obscurum, something like this. I think it's something like that. It's something very powerful. It's something also that you maybe I should not mess too much with it. But basically what I'm telling you here is that this thing that sits in your own skull is sucking in all these informations, and then to break through this, to get through these things, and then to use it also to create a beautiful reality, create something that is beneficial, or so to say sustainable for the future. And maybe I'm way too deep into the K-hole, I'm way too deep into that, and we have to create another layer to it's basically that you first find layers where you go in. But I cracked and so deep that I was finding this, and then now it's about you basically you basically web shields around that, and this becomes your reality. And this is basically also what turtles are, or what shields are, also talking about Kalaripaya too. And magic is basically we all have the same source. And like I said, I'm telling you, these obscurum, these antimatter, melanin, dark hole, black hole energies, they are source. We all have this infinite amount of potential. If you fuse that with Shivambukalpa urine therapy, that's massively, massively intelligent and powerful, massive. So, but now the question is now, what do we basically create around it? And I would start, like I said, history keeps repeating itself. It's basically about mastery, and you should do your own math. I was finding these truthful things. Now, what do you web around it? You have a certain shield, you have a certain presence, you have a certain technique. What I'm trying to invite you to is to go into your own body and to then create, and I'm talking about creation because you are God. You create your own shell. Now think about this one. Now, this is why also, 42, I think we're pretty finished here also. So I just invite you to cultivate your mind, The O is basically an Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail, if you get into Shivambukalpa. But, also maybe moving out of this parameter into another parameter of webbing your own mandala around the black hole. And this is basically what your shield, your protector is. It's a sign. We get also into sign language and sine waves and imaginational processes. So cheers to the ancestors, and don't fear it to go within, because this is where you find out.